Pero la gente va, o sea, va a volver el tipo. 8 horas después.
Ahem.
Dr. Lau, you have a visitor.
Oh,
Good evening, Dr. Lau.
hello.
¿Y estos
And
quiénes
you
son?
are...
Surely you recognize him.
No.
I'm afraid you'll have to enlighten me.
This is Dr. Vargas, the Central Operations Coordinator.
Now, Galatea, there's no need to be quite like that. The fact that I am not widely recognized perhaps indicates how successful we are.
Yes, you're right, Father.
Vargas? Dr. Eduardo Vargas?
Quite
falacia.
so, Dr. Lau.
What brings you from the Fulcrum Tower, sir?
A most grave matter, I'm afraid. One I believe you specifically to be most suited to handle.
Shall I, Father?
Please do, Galatea.
Central, I believe the audio EM capture system in this room to be faulty. Please run a deep diagnostic on the system.
Certainly, Ms. Vargas. Beginning scan.
We have perhaps 2 minutes until the diagnostic cycle is
El
complete.
mismísimo.
Dr. Lau, have you heard of a gentleman by the name of Baxter?
Baxter. O sea, ella nos... Ah, no, si hablamos... Si hablamos con el boomer de Baxter, pero no digo muchos detalles.
If I had a few moments to transfer it...
He was a engineer, a former colleague of Dr. Regis.
And of mine in our research days. Tragically, also the man responsible for the murder of Regis's wife, poor Viksha.
Oh, yes. Regis has been hit hard lately by the paroling. He didn't seem to think that Baxter deserved any kind of release.
It appears that he may well have acted on these objections.
You have a connection to Regis as well?
Quite so. He worked for me in a research team, as did Baxter in the same project.
And Viksha Regis.
Precisely. We lost half of the team in one fell swoop that day.
Dr. Lau, when did you last see Dr. Regis?
Last night, before Central went into siege mode. Why? What's happened?
This morning, Dr. Baxter was found dead in his workplace.
Oh,
Whoa.
no. Oh, Charlie, no.
I share your concern, Dr. Lau.
Central believes Dr. Regis to be the most likely suspect. He would have known that Central would be unable to provide oversight during the siege.
And he had no shortage of motive, as I'm sure you'd agree.
It just doesn't sound like him, though. He had other outlets, like his garden.
I don't fully agree with Central's assessment either. That is why I'm activating you on this case.
You want me to investigate Baxter's murder with my partner as the prime suspect? Isn't that a pretty serious conflict of interest?
It is within my prerogative to select agents I feel appropriate for casework, if necessary. Using it to aid an old friend, a good man, like Charlie Regis, I think that's worthwhile.
Remember that your primary responsibilities are to the law and to this city.
You're the controller of Central Operations. Why would you need to cut the camera feed with a trick like that?
I apologize, but for the sake of city security...
Yeah, can't tell me. Classified, ultraviolet A, etc.
I'm glad you understand.
I might understand, but I'm not happy about it.
Noted, Dr. Lau.
I think I've heard enough.
That's good to hear. I'll have Galatea email the case data to you. If I can be of any further help, don't hesitate to drop by my office.
At the top of the Fulcrum Tower. Make an appointment beforehand.
Diagnostic cycle of monitoring systems complete. No wetware or firmware anomalies detected. However, please ask Dr. Regis to stop obstructing the lens assembly.
I wish you luck with your work, Dr. Lau, for Regis's sake.
Ya, esto se ve complicado y todavía está la maid ahí.
Got to
Casi
wait
la
till
abro.
the AI lab have had their turn analyzing her. Then she's all mine. She's expensive. I wonder if I can persuade Regis to let us keep her.
Ah, ya. Está el computador, los
The desk
cables.
terminals don't have enough bandwidth. All strictly per... Nah, I've already got it. Nah, the desk term all strict...
Ya, dijo que tenía que me había mandado las cosas por correo. Esto lo había visto. Y acá está.
Ow! Hey, what was that?
Ok. Esto fue 10 de julio ya. Ah, pero no hice nada. Oh, esto es nuevo, ¿o no? Creo que lo había visto, pero ahora como que se entiende mejor. Ya. Sospechoso. Demonstrated a high anti-civil behavior index. ¿Qué va si lo llamo? No va a contestar.
No answer.
Pero ¿y dónde está? Acá, no. Está acá, ¿no? No. Ah, acá. Laser Paper Stone. Noticias. Case file. ¿Qué es esto? Ah, es como un minijuego. Pero ¿cómo funciona? Ah, es como piedra, papel o tijera. Esto es tijera, ¿no? Y esto es papel. Sí. Ya, esos son...
Dr. Lau, please continue your involvement. Please find
Ya, entonces nos vamos de acá. A la escena del crimen. ¿Por qué iría a la torre? Bueno, vamos acá.
Wow, that's a lot of green. Excuse me.
Great, they finally sent someone. You here to get the body out?
Maybe. I'm Max Lau, cell case specialist.
No kidding. I'm the lab director, Dr. Zvidzai Chigwa. Make it quick, I'm busy.
What's your role here?
I'm the supervisor for the telepresence factoring labs. Most of it's automatic. I just make sure it's all running like it should.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
It's a lousy job most of the time. TP is where management sticks people they don't want in public-facing roles.
You're not happy with it?
For the last few years, my career has been one disaster after another. I'm just glad it's plateaued into some kind of stability.
Can you tell me what happened?
Baxter got killed.
In any more detail?
When we started this afternoon, a whole lot of samples had been tampered with. We tried to call Baxter to find out what the hell was going on in the specimen bank.
And he didn't answer.
He didn't. Turned out the door to the specimen bank was locked too.
You haven't seen the body?
No, not in person, if that's what you mean. We got the camera feed online, but it was obvious that Baxter wasn't going to be coming out.
When did you last see him?
Guess it could have been Wednesday?
So he could have been killed any time in the past 3 days?
I guess, but it wouldn't fit with everything else.
What's the purpose of this lab? Plant studies?
Yes and no. It's a TP lab, telepresence. There's a lot of research that's not exactly legal in some countries.
But in Newton, pretty much anything goes.
Exactly. If someone in the EU needs research done on something hazardous, infectious, or
Está
endangered,
fuerte la música.
they send the orders here
Comparado a las
and we
voces.
carry out the testing.
What sort of research?
Mostly we make new angiosperms from scratch. That's
Angiosperms.
flowering plants to you.
Gee, thanks. Why would people want new flowers?
Sometimes it's a drug delivery method. The earliest commercial examples were fruit that grew packed with insulin. A lot of new wetware begins its life as engineered fruit too.
Must be awkward if they cross-pollinate in the wild.
And a legal headache. Part of our job is making sure the copy protection works.
Copy protection in plants? Ouch. Aside from yourself, who else works in this laboratory?
There's my intern, Martin Meester, operates the factoring line. If you meet him, it's easy to see why they put him in here. And until recently, there was Dr. Baxter.
Tell me about Mr. Neester.
He came over from Eurofed on a study program. He's young. I guess we were all like that in our youth.
Good colleague?
He's all right. He got on board with that annoying Maladist trend. He knows how to follow instructions, so I let him get on with it.
Is visa still active?
Dr. Lau, we do not employ undocumented illegals in this lab.
Just have to check. I'm sure you understand. Tell me about Dr. Baxter.
Oh, he was bad enough to work with in the 60s. As part of his parole, they stuck a gun. Since then, it's like talking to a badly written
You don't care for him a great...
That man killed Vicky. Frankly, he deserved what he got.
But you still work with him.
He worked for me. It was another. Vickerman's management persuaded centralized government that his skills were going to... The company wanted him supervised by someone who knew him. Hence, they dragged my son.
What did you have him doing?
He organized the specimen bank. It's the kind of thing we could just leave him at for hours on end. Really, it could have just been done by the facility's AI, but I had to give him something.
Otherwise, you'd have to talk to him?
Exactly.
Oh no.
You've got a keen mind. What's your take on this?
Hey, I'm not the detective, young lady. You know what I think? I think Regis did what they ought to have done.
Why do you say that?
Seems logical. We've got him coming into the labs on security. Then when we get here, we've got Baxter's corpse
Anything else?
Well, since we got in, we keep finding samples that have been tampered with. Looks like he spent his hour here messing up the genomes of our specimens.
That quickly?
If anyone was good enough to do it that fast, it'd be Charlie.
You knew Regis as...
Yeah, I was on a research team with him and his wife back in the sick Baxter, too.
You've apparently known him a long time. Does this seem like something Regis would do?
Oh, after what he did to Vicky, I'd have strangled Baxter, too. I tell you, if he did do it, I wouldn't blame him one bit.
Do you think he did it, though?
I don't know. He was always kinda shady.
Tell me about it.
They made him do some real awful stuff out in the hot zones.
Such as...
Let's just say his escape led to a whole lot of people being jailed for war crimes.
You seem preoccupied.
That
Eso le más
We
preguntas.
found a couple of specimens that Regis tampered with in his out, so I gotta run through the catalog and...
Sounds straightforward.
Not when there's 11. Oh, I could punch Regis, though I want to shake his hand.
What's been done to the samples?
He's used a customized viral vector to add huge amounts of junk DNA to their... These are the last two I found. Medioflorens interensis and Linacia lawsonis.
May I have a look?
Do you think it'll help?
Just a hunch.
Todo parece que va a servir.
Huh. Non-binary. Quaternary data string?
What do you mean?
My wetware systems are interpreting the genomes of these plants as sections of an audio file. He's used the DNA to store information.
You think so?
It's incomplete. The two samples only make up a third of the data, but M and L, my initials. This can't be a coincidence. He's left a message.
What does it say?
Not sure yet. I could probably construct the whole
hay
message
que
if I can
buscar
find
esto,
where he's
entonces.
hidden the rest of it.
Safe to say it's in the other plants he's engineered. Here, take this. You can sample DNA from the plants around the lab. If you run out of sampling cartridges, you can reload it
Habrá
at
que
this
encontrar la
console.
planta.
How long would it take to sample everything in the lab?
Only a couple of years. We have over 11,000
Ya, no se
subjects.
puede hacer.
You're better off looking for specimens
No se
that would
pueden ver
fill the
todo.
gaps in the clue he left.
So, how do I build more
ver.
than...
You've got to use the sampling tool to get DNA from the plant. The sampler can take 3 readings before it needs to be reloaded.
Ya.
In some areas of the lab, the atmospheric controls will prevent the
Apparently, he wants me to find certain samples. I've got to think about where I'm going to find them.
Darn right. We've got a whole lot of A right now.
So, you worked with Regis and his wife as well. Did you also work for...
That Papa's ass? Yeah, I worked for him.
You don't care for him?
He was a competent researcher, but he lives. Everything was always about making the world.
And you don't think it should be better?
It's a nice idea, just and what we ended up making.
What happens in this?
It's where the samples of plants. There's a huge library of
And that's where Baxter worked?
Yeah, it's not. I wanted to see what he could do.
You left him to work alone in?
I'll be honest.
I wonder why Regis hid a message.
DNA's been used as a data storage. Rather than on-off binary, DNA would be quaternary bits. Adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. If he just left a message on one of the systems, though, or even on paper.
Then someone could have destroyed or erased it. Short of burning down the entire lab, they'd have no way.
Especially since he's scrambled so many of the other samples as camouflage.
He needs to make sure it's found. And based on the layout, he wants me to find it. Have you found anything else with it?
As a matter of fact, there was a batch of Orchidaceae isotria in the growth lab, and... I can't remember exactly which specimen the other was. I do remember that it had red flowers, spiny toxic leaves, and produced long fruit.
Have you found anything else with added genetic data?
As a matter, there was a batch of... I do
Dice
remember that
que
it
tenía
had red
flores
flowers,
rojas.
spiny toxic leaves, and produced long fruit.
What sort of research were you...
You mean with Charlie and... You might not believe it, but...
Central?
It's the same. Newt Vargas put together a team, including...
Nuke me. Regis never mentioned...
It wasn't a happy... He left after the... We finished the project a few months later.
Huh. Might explain why he hates Central's guts. Why didn't the facility's CI detect Baxter's vitals suddenly failing? It's a potentially
We were wondering that as well. This afternoon we noticed the monitor. All hell broke loose when the CI suddenly realized what had happened.
So either you've got a technical fault with the software,
Which is unlikely given how much they cost.
or someone breached the security systems to cover Baxter's murder. That gives me more hope. Regis would have no idea how to do that.
Ya, como era esto, flores
Have you found
rojas,
anything else?
toxic
Doesn't
leaves.
matter. There was a batch.
And
I do spiny toxic and produced long.
Long fruit.
Is that all?
for now.
Then if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
Blue plants. Bueno, ahí está esto. Yellow blooms. Red
I better
plants.
not. If I start taking every single specimen, I'll be here.
Frutas largas, no es esta.
I've taken a DNA sample from it. Hi there.
I hear taxi drivers make the best coffee.
My name's Dr. Max Lau. I'm a cell case specialist.
I am a possibility to move it from the TV.
My name's Dr. Max Lau.
Only one parent quietly spat on the electric chair.
What?
You're not making any sense.
Georgie promised a blow-by-blow.
Are you alright?
The necessary but perhaps impossible notion of the
Como
nation
en el
state
anime.
works towards the rhetoric of synesthesia.
Can I get your name?
The robot dramatically cleaned a screaming pile of biscuits.
Okay. What's your role at this facility?
When do you offer a mechanical holiday?
Uh-huh. What happened here?
The Morrow system.
I see. I give up.
No
The
tiene
necessary but
sentido
perhaps
nada lo que hice,
impossible
creo.
notion of the nation state works towards the
Y eso me lo dijo ya.
I never thought engineering would be so...
Ya, pero creo que es la planta correcta porque no había muchas más. De hecho, había una solo. Ah, pero acá hay más. Pero esta fruta no es. Son los dos iguales, ¿no? Pensé que iba a ser más difícil.
There's some more.
Se entiende como algo.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it.
Faltan estas dos puertas. Bueno, esto no es una puerta. Ah, parece que sí. Ah, bueno.
Oh God, what a mess. Update Central.
What is the situation, Dr. Lau?
Dr. Baxter is certainly dead. He's been decapitated, and not cleanly either.
His head has been removed.
More like destroyed. At a glance, this would be the most likely cause of death. Nothing unusual found on the body, Central. Estimation on time of death?
The climate control in the specimen lab is compromising your sensors. Ambient temperature is just above freezing. What is your estimation of the incident, Dr. Lau?
There's too much we can't say for sure. We don't know precisely when Baxter was murdered. We can't even be sure that this was the cause of death.
That is a fair assessment. A clearer picture will no doubt follow the autopsy.
Don't send in anyone yet. I still need to carry out a preliminary.
I understand. Continue your investigation of events surrounding the incident.
Understood. Lau out. I hope I can find something to get Regis off the hook. It looks like it's controlling the sorting drones on the racks. It's a drone that runs back and forth on rails. Must be what they use to store and retrieve samples in here.
Esto nos puede servir. No hay nada. Ah, pero hay mucho acá, po. Extremófilo encontrado en asteroides y cometas. Ya, supongo que con esto, o sea, con eso lo uso para buscar y me trae la muestra.
Warning. Security clearance not valid for access to Growth Lab. Vickerman Pharmaceuticals thanks you for your cooperation.
Ya, él no me va a ayudar. Tal vez ella.
Excuse me, Dr. Chigwa?
Make it quick, I'm busy.
I tried talking to your intern. It wasn't helpful.
Oh, never mind that. He's got aphasia.
Isn't that treatable?
Oh, yes. He just gave it to himself. It's what the kids are into these days.
Crippling neurological disorders?
Yes and no. Maladism, they call it. They give themselves old diseases. It only lasts about a week each time.
And you let him do that?
He's not public-facing, and as long as it doesn't get in the way of his work. I figure we all did things the old folks thought were stupid back when we were kids.
I need to ask Meester about the tampered specimens. How do I cure his aphasia?
Well, you wouldn't really cure it. He doesn't actually have the disease. It's essentially wetware designed to occupy the Wernicke and Broca regions of the brain. This then produces the symptoms of the disease. That's what they're going for.
I can't wait a week for the wetware to break down.
Find a way to break it down early then. If we've got an emergency contamination, we use hydroxypyruvate isomerase. It's an enzyme that instructs the fabricators in wetware to disassemble themselves.
I can't get into the airlock.
The airlock and the growth lab are secure areas. We grow potentially hazardous organisms beyond those doors.
Ya no me va a dejar.
I'm trying to conduct an investigation here. Don't make me get a warrant from Central.
I'm sorry, Central would likely agree with us. We can't just give anyone access to the growth lab.
Not even a cell agent?
I'd need a pretty damn good reason. Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me.
Y está acá tampoco.
Warning. Vickerman.
Creo que tengo una idea, pero es más seguro hacerlo acá abajo. Porque tengo esto. Pero ¿cómo entro al trans? Ah, ok, ya no puedo ir a... Como que podía hackear las cosas. Como cuando abrimos la puerta
Warning.
del
Security
departamento.
clearance.
Come on.
New security profile created. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Lau.
Thanks.
Y ahí esto. Primero
Better to
auxilios.
have it and not the way out.
Ahí salgo.
They've got these pipes everywhere. They're pretty serious about preventing contamination.
Encadenar
This
cosas.
could be useful. Looks like a lot of
Justamente
cartridges for the
para...
injector.
Ah, pero hay muchas cosas para curar al tipo. Me dijo esto. Entonces con esto debería poder hablar con él. Espera. Ah, ya.
Did Marge lend her a lot of money?
Really? How interesting.
Beached questions, you injector?
Say that again?
Overpass, did you stick me with an injector? Now I'll have to get my aphasia reject. Not cool, man.
Ya lo
Excuse
creo
me.
bloqueado.
Yeah?
I'm CS Dr. Lau. I've been tasked with this investigation.
Martin Easter. I've been tasked with the factoring lab.
You work with Dr. Chikwa?
I work for Chikwa. I'm just the intern. Means I get stuck with all the lousy jobs she won't do.
I understand. I was an intern once.
So, what's CS? You a detective?
Case specialist. So, yes, I guess you could say that.
Cool.
I'd like to hear from you what happened.
So, we came in this afternoon for the late shift, right? I checked on the factoring line, and it turns out the specimens are nuked up.
In what sense?
They don't match the catalog anymore. Not that they're supposed to be. I figured Baxter nuked it up again, so I checked the feed.
That's when you found the body?
Yeah, but Chikwa won't let me get a look. Told me to get back to work while she called Seth. Hey, can I get a look at the body with you?
I'm afraid not. Official procedure and stuff.
Bummer.
Why'd you go and give yourself aphasia?
Not just that. There are loads of syndromes. It's maladies, man.
Aren't diseases like that dangerous, though?
It's not permanent, man. We ain't stupid. What wear nodes in the body create the symptoms of things we want, which you went and broke. Gee, thanks.
Sorry about that. In any case, they're temporary then.
Exactly.
I still don't get it. What's the hook for maladism?
Man, you old folk never get things like MD.
Old?
Most of these syndromes are diseases that are completely curable. They just don't happen anymore. Society says no to them.
So it's countercultural? An act of rebellion?
Exactly. Diseases like that make the establishment uncomfortable. They don't want it to be a part of their society. But we show them they can't ever get rid of it completely.
You're rubbing their faces in it then.
And in another way, it's kind of retro. Illnesses like that are what shape society. The Black Death made Europe what it is.
Gotta appreciate the classics.
For a lot of us, it's also about who's hardest. Posers go for little things like botulism or influenza. But you know someone's got real nodes on them if they can stand a month with HIV.
So, what other diseases have you tried?
Loads of them. Parkinson's, syphilis, tuberculosis. Last month, it was Hansen's disease.
Wait, leprosy?
Yeah, if you're a Zift, Hansen's is the real name.
Sounds like quite a selection.
That's why I came to study in Newton. Eurofed's just starting to get into MD culture. Even Newton's where it's at for it. You guys are a lot cooler about what you let people do.
On an individual basis, certainly. That's pretty much the founding philosophy here. Dr. Chigwa tells me that some of the specimens have been tampered.
Oh yeah, I found one of those. Man, couldn't they have just killed the guy without messing up my work?
I need to find it. Which specimen was it?
Oh, a Corsae Brasileira. When I found it, I just thought Baxter was nuking it up again.
What did you do with it?
I just sent it back to the specimen lab. Should be there in the sample
Ok, hay
stores.
que buscar eso.
How do young people go about getting sick these days?
It's a lot harder, but that shows it's a choice. We use wetware to create symptoms, like the aphasia. The wetware I had for that was programmed to lodge in the Broca and Wernicke regions of the brain.
So it's not really Broca's aphasia.
Same symptoms though.
You'd buy wetware nodes from shops?
Nah, find hobby GG programmers through the trance. They're always looking to sell. It's like a contest. They're always releasing new syndromes, competing with each other. You looking to get into it?
Not really my scene, thanks. What do you think of Dr.
She's a hard ass, but she kinda thinks she feels wasted working here.
What can you tell me about...
Not much. The only Chigwa dropped him in the specimen lab.
She neglected him?
Nah, he just could have been a workaholic, but
Did he ever talk about his past?
man, he didn't even talk to me.
What's your personal opinion?
He didn't talk much. Chigwa told me looked like he had a governor.
That's correct.
Dude, that Malkin was like a zombie. Anyone else would have yelled at me.
The governor inhibited violent thought.
Oh, no way.
That's confidential.
Man, that's unfair.
Remind me, what was that?
Jeez, it was a quarter.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Avena sativa.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
A ver, suéltalo. Ahora creo que llevarlo afuera.
I'm going to need to... It worked.
According to this, he's been dead through anything left in the portal. On his case. Good luck.
Salvo el good luck, no se entenderá.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of
Falta
it.
uno o dos. Pero no me quería ir. Entonces, por acá no hay nada.
Excuse me, Doc.
Make it.
Have you found anything else with...
As a matter of fact, there was a batch of Orchidaceae isotria.
And...
I do remember spine and produce.
No, esto es lo mismo que...
Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll...
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Remind me, what was that?
Jeez, it was a...
I already...
Oh.
All right, I'll let...
Uh-huh.
Parece que, que falta está, tengo que encontrarlo de alguna forma.
Looks like a lot of cartridge.
Draculín.
I don't know what's in them, but they look important.
Algo se tiene que hacer con esas cosas. Y acá hay más plantas, nomás acá no hay nada.
Hey, this one's empty. These don't look like any of the.
¿Mm?
These don't look like.
Bueno, en todo caso no hay... ¿Y si saco uno de ahí? O sea, no pierdo nada. Quiero ver si es que él sabe algo.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let.
No.
They've got these pipes. Nothing happened.
Ah, tienen como una válvula.
I've taken a DNA. Oops.
Ya, este sí hizo algo. No se vio muy bien.
Copyright breach in progress.
Excuse me?
You are not authorized to remove Orchidaceae isotria samples from the growth lab. They are copyrighted property of Typho Labs GmbH. Beginning purge.
Hey, my sample! What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequences in your possession have been neutralized.
Ah, no me
Have a
puedo
nice
llevar
day.
las cosas de allá.
Gee, thanks.
Ya, pero esto sigue... ¿Será que...?
Wetware's not going to connect with that.
Oh. Ah, ok. Pues será que si le digo a él o a la tipa...
I didn't realize that gengineering was done with some... Excuse me.
Yeah.
Esto.
I need to remove the Orchidaceae. Thing is, the airlock told me it was...
Yeah, that one belongs to Thief, only lab staff, right?
Could you get the...
Hey, no way, I'm already on 2 strikes.
So you could, but you...
Sorry, man. Jaguar, there's a huge street market for things like spark food or crack.
Hey, the pipes in the growth lab are leaking.
Nah, you'll get again. Better go fix it before Chihuahua starts yelling.
Ya, va a hacer algo, pero... Desactivará... O ahora puedo usar esto.
According to the labels, these... They look important.
Estaré arreglándolo así. ¿Pero qué cambiará entonces?
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
No veo por qué esto me dejaría pasar. Porque encima se llevó la toolbox, si es que había algo ahí. Ay, no se llevó nada. Ya acá esto actuar al tiro.
Warning, copyright breach
Sí.
in progress.
Excuse me?
You are not authorized to remove Orchidaceae isotria samples from the growth lab. They are copyrighted property of Typho Labs GmbH. Beginning purge.
Hey, my sample! What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequences in your possession have been neutralized. Have a nice day.
Gee, thanks.
Wait. O sea, no cacho. O sea, para algo tengo que tenerlo ahí distraído, pero. ¿Verdad que esto está vacío? Dice, no está en uso. Ya, ¿qué pasa si hago esto?
I've taken a DNA. I don't think I can plant that.
No funcionó.
It doesn't have any.
Traveler, you've gone. Ah, algo falta.
According to this, he's been dead for 8 Worst case. Good luck.
I'm going to need to. I don't think I can. I don't think I. Wetware's not going to.
No.
I've taken a DNA.
Ah, ¿qué quería hacer? No.
According to this, he's been dead for 8 Worst case. Good luck.
I'm going to need to find. These don't look like. I don't think I. I don't think.
Algo se tiene que hacer.
I don't think I.
Algo se tiene que plantar ahí. Cierra eso.
I don't think I. There's nothing in here. Excuse me.
Can this wait? If I don't fix...
Ya, esto me va a quitar el sample, sí, pero hay algo que falta.
Warning, copyright.
Excuse me.
You
Hey, my sa- What did you...
to prevent G have it.
Gee. Looks like a lot of...
Parece que nada ahí.
Nothing happened.
Red plants. Algo acá. Esto tiene puros samples, ¿cierto? Parece que sí.
Updates.
What is-
There's two... We can't...
That is-
Don't send...
I
Understood. I hope I can find...
Ah. ¿Qué más? Ahora ni siquiera puedo preguntarle a Nester.
Better not. Excuse me.
Make it.
So, how...
You've got to use the sampling tool to get... The sampler can take 3 reads. In some areas of the lab, the atmospheric controls will prevent the reading being...
Apparently he wants me to find... I've got to think of...
Darn right. Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll...
According to this, he's been dead for 18 months. Worst case. Good luck.
I'm going to need...
Injector DNA sampler.
It's only compatible with... It's only
Wait, what? ¿Siempre puedo hacer eso? Ay, me borró la primera.
I've taken a DNA...
What?
Wetware's not going... It's the DNA sampler. I need to take samples from plants I think Regis hid the rest of his message in. I don't think I can... I don't... I don't think I... Wetware's...
Ah, hay algo, o sea, algo se tiene que hacer acá. Supongo que tengo que detenerlo o algo así.
Hey, this one's empty.
Ah, falta.
These don't look like.
Voy a leer las descripciones de las muestras que hay. Porque puedo sacar cualquiera. Quizá uno tenga alguna cuestión en particular, o sea, que ayude a hacer que crezca esta cosa o que sea como la base.
What did you?
To the G have it.
Chief.
Garden P. Eso puede ser. Pero lacks chlorophyll. Yes. Es que todos son como
It's some kind of slime.
hay verdad que tengo que sacar los samples a esta
I've taken
cosa.
a DNA sample. I'd better not.
Ya no veo cómo me puede ayudar eso. Si le paso estos samples que se supone que no son, ¿qué va a pasar?
Looks like Regis didn't hide.
Ok.
Looks like Regis. Better not. It might tell the.
¿Será el dron? O algo del botiquín. Necesito algo para interpretar
It's the
esto.
DNA sample. I need to take samples from plants.
Pero no lo puedo usar directamente. Wow. Stop.
It's only compatible
With the sample tool. Ah, esta máquina es solo compatible con eso.
Wetware's not going to connect.
A ver. Debe ser muy simple.
I didn't realize that. I can't figure out.
Ya, no es por ahí. No puedo
They're
interactuar
keeping
con
things
eso.
in here, but probably not. I've taken a DNA sample from it. Wetware's not going. Not enough. I don't think I. Not.
Porque tasa isotria.
These don't look like. They're keeping things in here because they're probably not. I've taken a DNA sample from it.
No es eso. Espera, el loco está ahí por algo. Y
Better not lose it.
ok. Y ahora la terminas de arreglar. En realidad es para arriba. Y lo saco de nuevo. Ah, se llevó el sampler. Ya, que no se entere la señora.
Aha, got some.
Ya, este no tiene nada.
Looks like Regis didn't.
According to this, he's been dead for 8 months. Worst case. Good luck.
Ya, falta uno, falta
So I'm going
uno.
to need to find where he's hidden the.
Oh, pero ¿cuál falta? ¿Por qué? Ah, wait. Espera, hablemosle a él.
Excuse
Así
me.
que,
Yeah.
All
ok.
right.
Uh-huh.
Creo que nada con eso. A menos que la doctora tenga diálogo nuevo, pero creo que la pista puede estar acá, po, en las descripciones de estas cosas, ¿no? Greater Han Republic. The Common Oath. Client USA. Spark. No, este se ve muy natural. ¿Y esto? Eco Hazard. O sea, yo creo que si esa cosa se libera, claramente va a ser peligrosa. Cliente USA. Estos dos dicen formerly extinct.
According to this, he's been dead for 18 months.
Ah, pero que soy Gil.
Good luck.
La respuesta siempre me la dieron al comienzo, pues es literal Max Lao.
He's been dead for 18 months. Well case. Good luck.
I'm going to need to find.
Como dijo que eran las iniciales, pero no pues el nombre completo.
Huh. It won't let me take a sample from
What?
this one. I guess it needs to have grown a bit first.
Oh no. Ya, pero creo que sé lo que hay que hacer. O sea, dice que tiene que crecer un poco y lo único, además, que no hemos usado es justamente una matriz para crecer. O sea, que... Y supongo que esperará lo necesario y no se va a demorar mucho. Este capítulo ha estado más interesante.
There, I've planted the growth matrix. Let's hope I got Mom's green fingers.
¿Y ahí? Entrar y salir de la habitación. O quizá bajar la escalera nomás. Si es que esta cosa es como tapa la... Pero... Ya. No volvamos nunca más casi.
I've taken a DNA. I hope it doesn't.
Ya, dejamos... Rompimos todo. Así que no creo que seamos bienvenidos de nuevo. A ver qué dice el audio.
Yes.
Lau, if you're listening to this, well, it means they've got me.
Oh no, Regis, no, no, no.
But I Lau, ignore anything left in the recording up to this point.
Huh?
Sorry for being so unhelpful with the message, but I had to be sure you were the one who heard it first. Everyone will be saying that I came to the lab to, well, for Baxter, and they might be right. Except that he's been dead since before I got here.
Yes.
We need to touch bases on this case. Meet me where we were both first involved in a case. I'll try to explain when you get here. Good luck.
Oh, thank God. You've got some explaining to do, Regis.